back to another episode. My name is Amy Lloyd from Ascension Wellness, and I am here with Shannon Dawn.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to our episodes. Today, we're talking about having each other's back in relationship. How do we create a united front together, face to face, and when we are in separate locations?
So I think that there's so many directions we could take this, but the first thing that comes to mind is just open communication.
Right.
Yeah. Understanding where I am and what I need and where my partner is and what they need, and just being able to converse with that. And the open communication, of course, starts within ourselves. I have to be able to be honest with myself about my needs before I can communicate that to them.
Correct. And so we have to know each other's boundaries, our own boundaries and their boundaries. And of course, hear each other's points. What is really going on? If we aren't united, where are we missing the connection? And, how important is it to you? So communication, huge. Have the sit down when it's convenient for the both of you, and then decide what is the gap between, where we're at, where we want to be. And if there's 3 points between the two of you out of 10 that's missing, decide what each of those points means. How important is it to achieve that? And when will you know that you've achieved them, right? Or leave things where they are. It's up to you, but you got to decide, how you are united. It looks polished. It makes you both feel safe. There's a trust. There's no questioning the reliability of the integrity or the character of each of you, right? So we want to maintain that in a relationship. It's important.
It is. And what it sounds like you're describing is a goal. It's an agreed upon goal that this is the shared vision of what both people want their relationship to be like and look like and feel like. And so having continual conversations through, because we grow and evolve individually, but then of course, so does the relationship. And so having ongoing conversations to reestablish and remind ourselves and each other what this shared vision looks like, and checking in, as you're talking about that, where are you each now versus this goal, and how many points are you removed? It's almost like taking your temperature. And don't wait till there's a problem.
Yeah.
And you can avoid so many issues by taking those temperatures regularly. And it's always a work in progress. You're always tweaking, you're always improving here or there. But then, of course, when there is a problem, because that's going to happen, we're going to miss the mark and stuff's going to rise up in our face, and you got to deal with that. And that's also a great opportunity to reestablish the shared vision, take the temperature, see where you both are. And I love how you said to define those points in between, because if we don't define them, then I'm going to be working on assumptions. My partner's going to be working on assumptions, and it's all going to start falling apart.
Exactly. And we all want more or less of something in our relationship, right? So, the other thing to think about besides that is are your requests coming from yourself, your emotions, and something they need to hear and really listen to? Or is it an outside external thing, like their changed behavior will improve the environment, right? Either both of you or one of you needs to shift in order to make these united feelings come back to life.
Yeah. That's
otherwise keep drifting.
Yes. Yeah. I love that analogy, drifting. I use water analogies a lot. And so I think that for most of us, we are just drifting. And so what you and I are talking about right now, Shannon, is how can we all get more intentional in our relationships and more focused and have that shared vision that we are both always striving towards and creating again and again every day. And something you said, I can't remember what it was, reminded me of something else we talked about, a little off topic, but about blame versus accepting personal responsibility. And I think that that actually does tie in a big way into this conversation, because when we do find ourselves in the middle of a problem, a challenge, an argument, whatever, a disagreement, then how can we each, because you talked about boundaries, so reestablishing your own boundaries, this is where I end and the other person begins. How can we accept our own responsibility in a situation rather than blaming? And even if it's clear that the other person is crossing the boundary, then how can we get maybe curious? This is a coaching trick that I think we've talked about before. How can we get curious and ask them questions about and find out what their experience is? What is their reality? What are they struggling with? Because I'm going to make an assumption that they're not just terrible people. And so if they are crossing a boundary that is hurting you, then how can we help them in that place? And of course, that's practicing empathy and helping to understand where they are, what they're struggling with. And a lot of times in doing that, they can then see, oh, yeah, I crossed your boundary. I messed up. I'm sorry. And then that's their opportunity to take responsibility for themselves too, so that we can both get back on track towards that shared vision.
Right. And as I say in every video, if in fact your partner or yourself are closed off, you're not able to because you're depressed, you are frustrated, you don't understand, you don't care, there's other issues, maybe an affair, we don't know. All kinds of scenarios could be happening within a relationship that prevents two people from becoming united, from really seriously taking each conversation to heart. Then try coaching, try therapy, find external help. You know, if the communication between the two of you is not working, because it's very important. You don't want to sit in limbo with your partner, right, for too long, because it just builds resentment. And that's a whole other issue, right? So continue to find ways, like a river to an ocean. Just keep trying to find solutions. Ask your partner, talk. If it's not working, you go for individual therapy or coaching, whatever it is that you need. And then, of course, if you can go together, all the better.
Exactly. I love that. That's perfect. And I love the analogy of like a river to an ocean. Just keep trucking along one step at a time. It doesn't have to be a big, overwhelming process, just one step and the next step, and you're going to find your way to the ocean.
And it's the fact that rivers will, find a way.
Yeah.
They find a way. The water will flow. It will 9 times out of 10, right? It will continue to find a way. So you have to be the same. Be resourceful, be intelligent. We know you've got this. That's why you're watching videos like this. So we appreciate you being here. And thank you. I'm Shannon Dawn from shannondawn.com.
And I am Amy Lloyd from Ascension Wellness.
Thank you, everyone.